Okay, very good evening to all of you. I hope that I am audible to everyone. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the room.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
So today we are talking to you on the next steps that you have to take from June onwards till November 2023 till you write your CAT exam. And we hope that you are ready with your preparations. And this is just, another step to gear up your preparation slightly on a better mode so that you can start your preparation. So the major takeaways of this session would be, you will be hearing from an industry expert of CAT who is into this CAT training from past 2 decades. He'll be sharing his experience of training with you on the lines that July, August, September, October, November, kaise spend karna hai. Then we'll be telling you that how you have to use the sectional test, what is the advantage of an AIMCAT, what is the advantage of a SEMCAT, and the material that we have provided, how you have to use now, and how you have to maximize the output that you have to take out from the classes that you're getting at centers. So Rahul sir is with me. He'll be talking to you, and I'll be, of course, I'm there with you. We both will be sharing how you have to actually crack this exam in next 5-6 months. And all those people who were like you only, who were from the same background, similar kind of a background with the same graduation scores and everything, and they were sitting in the same manner last year in the same online room. So I hope that you will be probably having that experience in your classroom coaching, कि अब लगता है कि अब हम थोड़ा सा इसको और एक स्टेप ऊपर ले जाएं, जो हम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. Probably would have appeared for a couple of AIMCATs, उसमें लगा होगा कि थोड़ा डाउन हो रहे हैं, नहीं हो रहा, तो अब हम उसको आगे कैसे लेके जाएं, AIMCATs को यूज कैसे करें, और जो क्लासेस में पढ़ाया जा रहा है, how we can maximize that. देखो, सबसे पहली चीज before we start anything is November 2023 is your target attempt, and the most important thing in your target attempt is you will have to daily get up with the same goal till you actually achieve the results in the month of January. So without even giving a slight doubt to your own self, daily you have to get up with the same goal, with the same target, irrespective of the circumstances, irrespective of the mark scores and any other factor which is troubling you. You need to daily think that was November 2023 is my target and I'll be cracking it. So from all these perspectives, you will have to understand that Swami Vivekananda said, arise awake and stop not till the goal is achieved. Okay. So till November, you will have to go with the same mode, same preparation. मेरे को बस इस ट्रेन को छोड़ना नहीं है. That's the most important thing that I have to do when I am typically preparing for CAT. So consistency is the most important thing. With this, we start the session. Sir, over to you.
Kapil, the first slide that you had put up, it reminded me of that poem by Robert Frost. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So there's the road which was there. So it's important that we don't get diverted from our path by those lovely words and all that on the sides. We need to keep our focus on that road, and we need to travel that path. The path, where does it end? It ends in November on the date of the CAT exam. The first path. Then there is a second path which will take us to the interview stage. So that we will tackle later. But right now, for us, our short-term target, the immediate target, is the November CAT exam. So now, when we start discussing how to prepare for any exam, the better armed we are with information about that exam, the better we can prepare. Forewarned is forearmed. So now CAT over the last few years is no longer a very mysterious exam. There used to be a time when CAT was known for throwing up surprises. Every year there will be something new, so you couldn't predict how many number of sections, how many number of questions, what difficulty level, what new types of questions. But over the last few years, they have sort of made it a very standardized kind of an exam. So we know there will be 3 sections, and in the last few years, it's very clear the first section will be English, followed by LRDI, followed by Quant. There will be sectional time limits of 40 minutes each, and overall the paper is of 2 hours. Okay, so this much last few years they are keeping fixed. The only slight variable can be in terms of the number of questions in each section. That too, because in the ads that come out, the notification is likely to come out in another month's time or so. But the notification in the last few years, we've seen they do specify all these aspects, 3 sections, the sequence of the sections, okay, and the time limits for each section. They don't specify the number of questions, but even that also for the last 2-3 years, we are seeing it's more or less fixed. There can be a slight surprise there, but by and large, it's like 24, 20, and 22 kinds of a 66 question. So we can more or less assume that this is the likely pattern, and you will find most of our AIMCATs also on that same pattern. The occasional ones may differ slightly, so that just to keep that in mind in case there is a slight difference, and whether the notification tells anything new, or then subsequently if there is any surprise thrown on the exam day, then you shouldn't get suddenly flustered that what is this we've never seen. So now the first thing is, let's analyze what happened in CAT, say in November 22. So what has it been? What has been the pattern of CAT? What are the kind of sectional cutoffs and percentiles? Okay. Before that,
I was thinking,
I see Kapil has put up some interesting slides to motivate you all.
Yeah.
Okay, Kapil, let's go through these placement statistics.
Okay. See, guys, the most important thing that you have to understand in the whole preparation is that you are not fighting for an MBA college. See, there are thousands of MBA college, top 50, top 100. You will get one of the MBA college. But typically, when you are preparing for CAT, what you are fighting for? You're fighting for these fancy figures, which are, kind of an average placement salary that was there from the last batch. So if you look at a couple of top IIMs, Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, Kozhikode, Indore, and Lucknow, you will find that these figures are very fatty, and they are good motivator for you that, boss, this is something which I'll be getting when I'll be passing out after 2 years, more than this, because this is on a continuous kind of a raising graph, you can say. And not only this, you should look at that there are a couple of other BE schools which are non-IIMs, like FMS Delhi. So sir probably can tell you more about the college, because sir is himself from FMS Delhi long back. They have also probably reached to, they are almost always like equal to an IIM only. So agar aap dekhte ho today, they are standing at 34 lakhs, which is close to the first 3-4 BE schools in the country. And similarly, XLRI, IIT Delhi, JBIMS, MDI Gurgaon, these are a couple of B schools which are in the range of, I would say, 20 plus lakhs per annum, and which is a very good motivator. And these B schools, typically you do not get at 99 percentile. I'm talking about, let's say, MDI or SIBM Pune or IFT or NMIMS Mumbai, for sake. Okay. So these B schools, typically, you can get them at a lower score. So we'll be discussing that. यहाँ बहुत सारी चीजें हैं ले जाने के लिए, the kind of motivation that you should have. ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत मेरे को 99.99 लाना है तभी कुछ होगा, नहीं. There are B schools, right, starting from the range of 80 percentile, where placements are very, very good nowadays. Okay, I'll show you some figures. Look at this. This is cutoff range of 85 percentile plus, and their figures you can see it is from 12 lakhs to 17 lakhs. This is approximately, the starting salary I'm talking about. This is 2023 batch, not 2022. These are all updated figures. Okay, so you will find that these are those figures which are a good amount of motivation for you, that, boss, I'm not preparing for CAT only for, qualifying for an MBA. No, you're preparing to qualify for a percentile, and that percentile which will typically take you to a B school where you will get these kind of figures. Okay, sir, over to you.
And again, remember one thing, you all are studying averages and all. These are all average, placement figures, which means in any of these colleges, say, like, let's look at, say, the next slide, IMI or here XIMB, when you say 17 lakhs average, that doesn't mean, oh, agar hamara XIMB mein hua to 17 se zyada nahi mil payega, 17 hi average. You may still get a 22, 24, 25 lakh package from XIMB. Then there will be some who will get only 12, 14 lakh package from there, which is why the average is 17. So even say in FMS Delhi, when average is 34, there are people who got a 50 lakh plus kind of a package from there. And there will be some who got 25, 28, 30. And the average for those 300 odd students is 34.1 lakh. Okay, we missed out a name here. SP Jain also is somewhere similar, 32, 34 lakhs. Okay, so there are numerous colleges. And again, the good thing is, some of these colleges are not CAT specific. Okay. So, like I'm sure you all know, XLRA Jamshedpur takes through ZAT exam. SIBM Pune, SCMHRT take through SNAP. NMIS Mumbai takes through NMAT. Then there is IIFT takes through its own exam. Okay. TIS Mumbai also has its own exam. JBIMS Mumbai could accept CAT score, or it could be the Maharashtra CET score. Okay, so what is good about it is that you can have multiple opportunities with the same preparation. When we are preparing you, we are not preparing you just for the CAT exam. We are preparing you for CAT and all India other management entrance exams too. Other means IIFT, ZAT, SNAP, NMAT. Typically, these are the 4 other leading ones. So whichever exams, so you get, if you are not able to do very well in CAT for some reason, despite the best efforts, we may not reach that level, or on the day of the exam, for some reason, we don't do that well. But if we have been preparing well, then we can write these other exams. And through those also, we can get through some such coveted colleges which have placements equivalent to the older IIMs. We haven't even given you the figures for the newer IIMs, which are more in this range of this, what we are looking at, these 85 plus percentile colleges, 14 to 17, 18 lakhs. What we call, typically the baby IIMs, new IIMs, they are also offering these kinds of placements. Okay. So from this range, so IIMs, you can say from 12 lakh to 35 lakh, 36 lakhs. That is the entire range for IIMs. And there are, I would say, at least 30, 40 other colleges who are in the same range, other than the IIMs, from 12 lakhs to 35, 36 lakhs. So you have these 20 IIMs and you have these 30 other colleges. So overall, there are about 50 such colleges which are offering these kinds of placements. So which is a very good number. If you look at maybe, 300 seats per such college and 50 colleges. So we are talking of 15,000 seats, which are available for roughly out of 2.1, 2.2 lakh students who would be appearing for the CAT exam. So that's a very good ratio. You have to be, you can look at it, top 5, 7, 8%, even top 10% students where you will get calls. As we said here, 85 percentile plus. A lot of these colleges which are shown here on the screen will call you if you are in the mid 80s in your percentile in the CAT exam. Okay, we'll discuss subsequently further about percentiles and all. So this was, I hope, a motivator that, even if some of the AIMCATs which have started happening and you have not done too well in some of those AIMCATs, don't get disheartened. First of all, there are many more to go, many more months. If we focus our preparations well, we can still do great in the CAT exam. And even if we fall short of the IIMs, so many other colleges offering equally good placements.
Okay, let's understand with the first and the foremost thing that I was talking about, CAT 2022 comprehensive analysis. See, right in the beginning, sir said that CAT is now more or less an exam where the pattern is very much clear that you're looking at section 1 as VARC, section 2 as LRDI, and section 3 as Quant. And typically there are 24 questions in VARC, 20 questions in LRDI, and 22 questions in Quant. And there are some MCQ questions, there are some non-MCQ questions. They might change a couple of things every year, as he said, that this may not change. But let's say last year they introduced the change in English, that they introduced a new category of question, and the old previous category of question, that is out of context, was completely eliminated from the paper, and a new category fit in the paragraph came in. So you may find that these changes can occur in any section, any subsection. So you should be ready for those changes. But by and large, broadly, the picture is there are 3 sections with section 1 VRC, section 2 LRD, and section 3 Quant. And you guys are preparing on these 3 sections only. You may have one section strong, one section weak. That's a different story. We'll talk about all these things. But then pattern wise, this is, I think, more or less fixed from past so many years. So
again, remember, so the non-MCQ questions, which are also referred to as theta questions, you know, type in the answer kind of questions, they do not carry any negative marking. Okay. Whereas the MCQ questions are that +3 -1, the non-MCQs are +3 and 0. Okay. So that is what also as a part of strategy we see that if we attempt these non-MCQ questions, you are not penalized even if you get them wrong. Okay. So overall, otherwise, now these 3 sections, as you said, sometimes the new types of questions can come in, and sometimes the difficulty level of that particular section may vary from year to year. For example, last year, quant was slightly more tough than the previous 2-3 years. The LRDI section in the last 2-3 years has been coming much tougher than the previous years. So that kind of a thing, variation, what section is tougher, can be there, which is why when you start writing AIMCATs and already 4 AIMCATs have taken place, 20 odd still to go, you'll find various levels of difficulty in AIMCATs. Sometimes one particular section is tougher, sometimes some other section is tougher, sometimes you'll find the entire AIMCAT tough. So we have been analyzing the CAT pattern over the years. For last many years, there is a very focused, team, a very stable team at our head office, whose only job is to create AIMCATs, to do that CAT analysis and trying to map the difficulty levels. So rest assured, when you write the AIMCATs, sometimes students tell, the rumors and amongst yourself, these AIMCATs are tougher. People spread these rumors. They are tougher than actual CAT. तो कोई फायदा नहीं है, वो AIMCATs इतना tough नहीं आता है वहां देने का. So we've done all that mapping, all that difficulty level analysis, and signed more than half the AIMCATs, even last year, were at the same level of difficulty as the actual CAT. So rest assured, when you are writing the AIMCATs, which is a very crucial component of your entire preparation. Again, I'm stressing that because from our past experience, what we've seen is students write a couple of AIMCATs, get some slightly lower percentiles and feel demotivated and say, I won't write any subsequent AIMCAT. सीधा CAT में ही देखेंगे. अब आप सोचो क्रिकेट के मैदान पे बैट्समैन का अब मैं प्रैक्टिस सेशंस में पार्टिसिपेट ही नहीं करूंगा, सीधा बस जब टेस्ट मैच होगा तभी वहां जाके खेल लेंगे पिच पे एंड आई हिट अ सेंचुरी. दैट डजंट हैपन. Unless you've been practicing consistently, you will not be able to do well on the actual match day also. The same thing is here. Unless you've been writing the AIMCATs consistently, analyzing your performance, working on your weaknesses, unless you've been doing these things, don't expect that suddenly on the day of the exam, you'll go and then फोड़ के आ जाओगे. So for that, whatever your percentile, make it a point that you will appear in every AIMCAT. And then what to do between 2 AIMCATs, we'll subsequently come to that also. And we've had earlier sessions and some videos of ours are also available on our YouTube channel, the same channel on which you are seeing this live streaming now. So you can go through some of the past short videos that we put up, and we'll have some more sessions, how to analyze AIMCATs, how to learn from these AIMCATs so that you keep on improving your performance from one AIMCAT to another. Okay, Kapil, let's analyze these 3 sections individually a bit more.
Yeah. Guys, one more thing. As sir said that AIMCATs are very near to the actual difficulty level of the CAT. Yes, true. See, when you take a feedback from a senior student who has cracked the CAT, who has joined an IIM, he would certainly say one thing, that one important component of my preparation was AIMCAT. Believe me, when you will also appear in CAT and when you will come back to us, you will say that it was extremely beneficial to appear in these AIMCATs. और paper जो है मुझे बहुत हद तक AIMCAT जैसा ही लग रहा था. That is one thing that you have to understand, that initial days में हो सकता है मुझे लगेगा बहुत difficult है, मेरे से नहीं हो रहा. तो ये अच्छा है ना, आपको practice test में पता पड़ रहा है कि आपसे नहीं हो रहा. So you will now work on those wrong questions in a reverse manner. कि वो क्यों नहीं हो रहे? What is the reason behind that? And you may identify some topics which are weak. You have entire June, July, August, September, October with you to do all these things. See, this will only improve your performance cumulatively, nothing else. So please do not skip these tests. I'm saying this again and again in classes also, and I'm saying again also here also that please do not skip MCATs. You can skip a class that can be repeated, but you cannot skip an MCAT that can never be repeated. Okay, it will only come as an missed MCAT form, and then you will not get an all India rank, all India percentile, anything. Okay, so with this, we'll move ahead and do a subject analysis. See, last year, that is CAT 2022, if you look at the paper of VARC section, I'm taking this section with you. So there were 3 questions from para forming, sentence placement or fit in the para, 2 questions were there from this, total 5 questions. Okay, out of these 5, only 3 were non-negative and non-MCQ, 3 para summary. All 3 were moderate in difficulty level. Whereas if you compare this with CAT 21, then instead of sentence placements, it was out of context. And out of context, 2 questions, they were non-negative in nature. So entire bundle of 5 questions, they were non-negative in 21. And first, that is paraforming, is moderate to difficult, while out of context was usually easy to moderate in terms of difficulty. While both questions of sentence replacement or fit in the para, देखो बड़ा सिंपल है. Fit in the para क्या होता है? ये कहाँ आएगा? Fill in the blank क्या होता है? ये क्या आएगा? So that's the only difference between the two. Fit in the para में तो मुझे कहाँ आएगा बताना है, और fill in the blank में मुझे क्या आएगा बताना है. Difficulty level was high. Okay, so this was slightly a difficult section. If you look at passage, I always say by attempting 2 passages you can play the entire game. So even in this set, 2 passages were moderate and difficult in all 3 slots, morning, afternoon, and evening. And one could have easily attempted these 2 passages and could have scored fairly well. So it's all about order of attempt, which we discuss again and again in class, how you have to select a passage, how you have to identify that this passage is right for me and this passage is something which I should skip. You will have to practice a lot on improving your orders. Okay, so this was section 1 VARC. Sir.
See, again, sometimes even for AIMCATs, I just wanted to add that one point. Sometimes some students feel, in class, what we are doing is not of that same level of difficulty as we find in AIMCATs. You do some such things, how do I tackle AIMCATs? Remember, AIMCATs are also a part of your learning process. Various steps of difficulty that you learn, what you do in class, the sheets that you do, the exercises that you do from the SMs, the practice sessions that we will have, the workshop that we will have, the sectional tests that you will write, the SAMCATs that you will write, and the AIMCATs. So all are of various levels of difficulty. There are certain steps. So they are all constituting a part of your learning. So they are not the end result. The end thing is the CAT exam. So consider all these AIMCATs also as learning tools. Okay. The language section, sir has already explained. We'll move on to the other sections also, and then we'll see what kind of scores. See, some of you would have just recently joined the CAT preparation. Some of you would have started your CAT preparation last year itself and are, near the end of your course. Some would have become serious now. Some will become serious once the notification comes out. So all those, you are a mix of students. So we're trying to keep it a more general thing that these are the patterns. The test, and when we say planning, it could be more relevant for students who have already completed most of the course. So now how do we go further? But for others also, it's a learning that, what are the various steps ahead? Another month or 2, most of your basic course will get completed. And then what all material is there, what all we should be doing. So let's start planning from now itself. Don't think कि ठीक है थोड़ा सा ये समय में ही इतना सब कुछ कर लेंगे. Planning अभी से चाहिए, बहुत सारा कुछ है करने को. There are lots of resources that we provide you online and offline. Okay, so you need to fully utilize those resources, and you'll find then CAT is no longer as tough as it sounds or it seems or what people say. Okay, Okay, the second section, the LRDI section. This last year was tough, and it has been tough earlier 2-3 years also. If you see 20 questions grouped in, say, there are just 4 sets. And if we look at the difficulty level, 2 very difficult, 1 difficult, and 1 moderate to difficult. So nothing easy, nothing just saying only moderate. Okay. So which means cracking even 1 set was difficult for some student. And if you cracked 1 set entirely, you would still have a decent percentile. You would probably achieve the cutoffs and all. If you were able to do 2 sets, that was great going. Okay. So again, the selection of sets is very important. And remember, each section, when we say 40 minutes, so CAT exam is like 3 exams rolled in 1. So you are writing 1 exam of English, followed by another exam of LRDI, followed by another exam of quant. Why? Because there are time limits for each. You cannot say that, I'll complete my English section in 30 minutes and the extra 10 minutes I'll put in LRDI or in quant. So these are separate. So 40 minutes in LRDI, typically we've seen, let's say 30-40% students will be able to attempt only 1 set. Another 30-40% students will be able to attempt 2 sets. It's only the top 10-20% students who can hope to, even attempt a 3rd set. It's very rare that we heard that anyone has attempted all 4 sets in seriousness, meaning in earnestness. Otherwise, randomly, so anyone can attempt all the questions, but serious attempts on all 4 sets and LRDI in the last 2-3 years, virtually unheard of. Okay. So, okay, the quant section, if you see here, a lot of topics, none of the topics has a disproportionate weightage. Okay, maximum 3 questions from any topic. And if you now look at the difficulty level, you find a lot of them classified as easy, a lot of them classified as moderate. So, okay, if we were to look at this quant section from the perspective of a student who we typically call the non-maths background student, a student who didn't have maths after class 10th, okay, and now who is again preparing, who has to take up quant to prepare for the CAT exam. So even for such students, what typically the aim is that they should be able to attempt obviously the easy questions and the moderate questions. They can very easily skip the difficult questions, but then you should know which are difficult questions. You should be able to select, okay, when you read a question that, oh, this seems tough, so let me skip it. Let me attempt, go through the entire section and attempt what seem to be doable or easy questions. So in the later part of our preparation, once we have completed the basic course, when we start doing workshops, when we start doing revision sessions, when you practice exercises, when we start doing the sectional tests on our student homepage, that is the time when we need to focus on selection of questions. When we are preparing each concept, each topic, then don't select. Then you have to try attempting every question in the handout, in the exercise. Then only you will get a feel when you attempt everything that which did you find tough, which did you find easy. So that then in an exam, when you have limited time and you have these many number of questions, it's very rare, maybe not even 1% students are able to go through and attempt nearly all the questions in the quant section. Not one, I would say less than 0.5% students. So again, students out of these 22 questions, typically the good students in quant are also able to attempt between 15 to 20. Okay. But even with the lower attempts, but a good accuracy, even if attempts are maybe around 10, but good accuracy, one can clear the cutoffs. The cutoffs again are typically meant for the IIMs. The non-IIM colleges normally do not look at sectional cutoffs, or they look at much lower sectional cutoffs, which may tend to be, say, something like a 50 percentile in every section. Whereas some of the IIMs have decreed minimum 70 percentile in every section. Some IIMs are talking about minimum 80 percentile, and maximum cutoff which some IIMs have said is 85. So the highest, cutoffs, that means if you get 85 percentile in any section, for any MBA college, your sectional cutoff is clear. So your target should be minimum 85 percentile in every section, automatically you will be in the 90s in that case. And when you are in the 90s, then you are in line for some IM calls. Okay. And in one section, then out of you get 85 plus 85 to 90 in two sections. In one section, you get 95 plus kinds. You will find your overall score also 95 plus, which may yield you multiple IM calls. So we'll discuss again the scores and the percentiles in the next few slides. But then this was an overview, like you look at the topics. There used to be a time when numbers was very dominant. You would have 5, 6 questions, 7 questions from numbers. Now it is restricted to 3. This was also a surprise because in the previous 2-3 years, numbers was only 1 or 2 questions. So this time there were 3. So people were surprised. Okay, numbers is making a comeback, which is why, typically in our classrooms, we have about 5 sessions of numbers. We've had them 5 years back also. We have 5 now also. So sometimes, students ask, numbers तो आजकल आता ही नहीं है CAT में, तो इतना क्यों पढ़ना? इसके लिए इतने सारे सेशंस क्यों दे रहे हैं? नंबर्स नहीं आते. बट नहीं आता है ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं है. पिछले कुछ सालों में नहीं आया, that could be there. कि इस बार भी नहीं आएगा, you cannot say for sure. जैसे इस बार CAT-22 में suddenly वापस आए ना 3 क्वेश्चन. So there can be any topic which may not have some questions in some years, and then suddenly it will have questions, or it may have multiple number of questions. So we have to be prepared with every topic. Same in English, like grammar. Grammar is directly not being asked in CAT for the last few years, but we still have those 8, 9, even 10 sessions of grammar. Why? Because 2 reasons. One, grammar forms the foundation of any language. So if you have to be good in English, you should also be good in English grammar. And that will indirectly help you in para jumbles, even in RC certain areas, and any new type of question which may come in. Or grammar questions, error identification questions may make a comeback also. So that is one aspect. Second aspect, a lot of these OMETs are still continuing testing you on sentence correction or some other aspects of grammar. So you study grammar, your foundation becomes strong, and it also helps you in these OMETs. Okay. Same way in quant, study every topic equally well. If you were a non-maths background student, don't think that, let me skip the pure maths or algebra. You can have easy questions from those seemingly tough topics also. Of course, this time when you see here, this table, you will find, okay, if you say quadratic equation, inequalities, permutation, combination, they all seem to have difficult questions. But look at coordinate geometry. That question was of moderate difficulty only. So sets questions, progression series, algebra kinds or sets, modern maths. So these are moderate level of difficulty questions also. So don't leave any topic, study all topics, try and solve exercises, complete exercises of all the topics. Then in the exam, then only you actually have a choice. No? If you have skipped 5 topics, then out of 22 questions which are appearing, the topics which you've done constitute only 13, 14 questions, then your choice is very restricted. Then in those 13, 14, you have to do 10, 12. So rather than that, have a wider choice. You have studied all topics. So if any topic you find a question difficult, you can leave that. See, you can see PPL, which seems to be the simplest of topics, but 2 questions came in and which were classified as one moderate and one even difficult. So suppose you are banking on PPL, but you find the question tough. No worries, you can leave it. You can attempt maybe, and then you'll find in sets that question was relatively easy, which you thought was a tough topic. So no preconceived notions, study every topic well. Then in the test, whichever test you're appearing, that is why you have to practice a lot through AIM CATs and sectional tests and SAM CATs. How do you select questions? How do you decide which question is easy, which is tough for you? And then after the test, in the analysis, and especially in AIM CATs, a very detailed analysis comes from the head office where they tell what percentage of students got a particular question right, what percentage attempted it and what got it right, how much time was spent by you, and what was the average time spent by students who got the question right, and overall average. So many inputs from all those parameters, you can judge what is the actual difficulty level of the question. And then what was your decision? Did you attempt that or did you leave that? So if you left an easy question, that is a cause for worry. You have to analyze. If you attempted a difficult question, spent too much time on it, and then on top of it, you got it wrong, then you have to again reason out why, what made you attempt that, why did you not skip that question and attempt some other questions. So that kind of analysis, post facto analysis after every test, that is also going to help you improve your performance from one AIMCAT to another. Yeah, Kapil.
Okay, sir. One question on behalf of those students who are having a quantophobia kind of a thing. If I could have attempted this question, and these 3 questions. So total, let us say 6 questions. If I could have attempted all correct, मेरा कट ऑफ क्लियर हो जाता सर.
इस बार तो हो जाता. CAT-22 में.
This is what I.
CAT-23 में हो जाएगा क्या? You cannot say.
This we cannot say. We cannot say.
So you cannot go with that preconceived notion कि मैं तो 4 ही टॉपिक करूंगा. इस बार AMA से 3 क्वेश्चन आए, क्या अगली बार 3 आएंगे? और क्या वो इजी या मॉडरेट होंगे? सो यू डोंट नो किस टॉपिक से इजी क्वेश्चन आएगा. तो क्वांटोफोबिया सा है तो हमने 5-6 टॉपिक छोड़ ही दिए, ठीक है. या जिन टॉपिक्स को हम स्ट्रॉन्ग मान रहे हैं कि ये वाले तो हमको अच्छे से समझ आ गया, उनसे भी तो डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन आ जाता है, तो उसमें हम उलझ जाएंगे. तो तैयारी ये करें. देखो क्या होता है, वी आर राइट नाउ इन जून. 3 महीने हम सारे टॉपिक सारे कर लिए, सबके प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, तो हमें अपने आप प्रैक्टिस करते करते और टेस्ट देते देते समझ आ जाएगा कि डिस्पाइट आवर बेस्ट एफर्ट्स देयर आर सर्टेन टॉपिक्स इन विच वी आर फ्लाउंडरिंग. कोशिश करके भी उनमें अधिकतर ज्यादा गलत होते हैं. तो सितंबर एंड तक, अक्टूबर तक आते आते अपने आप हमारी स्ट्रैटेजी जब होती है क्वेश्चन सिलेक्शन की, उसमें टॉपिक्स की प्रेफरेंस तो होती ही है. तो अभी तो एग्जाम में हम जनरली आपको यही सजेस्ट करते हैं कि ऐसे सिर्फ ये टॉपिक का क्वेश्चन है इसलिए छोड़ दें, ऐसा नहीं. क्विकली जस्ट टेक अ फ्यू सेकेंड्स टू ग्लांस थ्रू द क्वेश्चन. यू फाइंड कि एक बार पढ़ने में क्वेश्चन थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है, नहीं समझ आ रहा, ये बहुत लेंदी सा लग रहा है, पता नहीं हो पाएगा कि नहीं, यस यू कैन स्किप, यू कैन मूव ऑन एंड रीच टिल द एंड ऑफ द सेक्शन. तो टाइम बच गया तो कुछ आपने मार्क करके रखे थे क्वेश्चन, हम उन पे जा सकते हैं. तो कुछ इजी या मॉडरेट जो हमें ठीक लग रहे हैं वो क्वेश्चन मिलेंगे 5, 7, 8, 10, पहले वो तो कर लें हम. बट अगर आपने प्री कंसीव्ड नोशन में कुछ टॉपिक्स टोटली अवॉइड कर दिए थे और उन्हीं टॉपिक से ज्यादा क्वेश्चन आ गए अगली बार, तो आपकी चॉइस ही रिस्ट्रिक्ट हो जाएगी बहुत. ऐसा हुआ है. देखो अभी फंक्शन एंड ग्राफ इस बार देखें तो मुझे एक भी क्वेश्चन नहीं दिख रहा कि फंक्शन एंड ग्राफ से आया. देयर हैव बीन इन कैट ईयर्स मैथ्स में 4 क्वेश्चन, 5 क्वेश्चन फंक्शन एंड ग्राफ से. अब जिनको वो ग्राफ देख के डर लगता है कि पता नहीं क्या बना हुआ है और कैसा है, और उनके सामने वो 5 क्वेश्चन आ गए उस दिन और वो स्प्रेड आउट होते हैं पूरे पेपर में, तो फीलिंग ऐसी आती है कि ये तो बहुत टफ है, इसमें भरा ही हुआ है फंक्शन एंड ग्राफ से. एंड देन यू सी दैट सेक्शन एंड देन वो उसी में ही मेंटली यू बिकम फैटिग्ड कि ये तो हमसे हो ही नहीं सकता, पता ही नहीं इस बार क्या हो गया. तो दैट इज व्हाट वी नीड टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड. फंक्शन ग्राफ में 4 क्वेश्चन है, डेफिनेटली 1-2 उनमें से इजी भी थे, तो सिर्फ बेसिक कंसेप्ट आपको आते थे तो आप वो अटेम्प्ट कर सकते थे. So you don't know what is in store for you in CAT-23. So be prepared for all the scenarios.
तो मेरे को जो सर की बात से समझ में आया, तुम लोगों को एक तो ये सोचना नहीं है बहुत ज्यादा कि मुझे किस कट ऑफ्स पे आना है, कितने नंबर आएंगे, कितने क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. बिकॉज जब एक बैट्समैन बैटिंग करने जाता है तो शायद ये सोच के नहीं जाता आज मैं 48 बनाऊंगा या 47 बनाऊंगा या 52 बनाऊंगा या 100 बनाऊंगा. You go play as the balls come to you, and this thing you have to practice every time when you take an AIMCAT. Okay, so let's move ahead and look at this thing that we were discussing of last 2-3 years. Okay, some data is in front of you. This data says that 99 percentile score can be achieved at a particular scale score, at a particular marks which we say. Okay, so you all know that's not a game of percentile, it's not a game of percentage, it's a game of percentile. So when it comes to CAT, you can typically see that approximately 50% marks every time will fetch you an almost a score of 99 percentile. 50 or even less than 50, like last year it was just 43.22, and even in CAT 2020 it was less. So you can see that I mean percentage doesn't matter here. तो यहाँ more or less score same से ही है higher side of percentile लाने के लिए. तो क्या हम परसेंटाइल की लड़ाई में आगे हैं? बिल्कुल आगे हैं, हम ये स्कोर ला सकते हैं. That's the most important thing that you guys have to understand at this stage of your preparation. Sir.
देखो ये हमने स्कोर्स बताए 99 परसेंटाइल एंड व्हेन यू अचीव अ 99 परसेंटाइल यू आर डेफिनेटली गेटिंग मल्टीपल IIM calls and some of the older IIMs are also definitely calling you. Now whether you will be able to get calls from all 20 IIMs, okay, that may or may not happen because there are multiple parameters that each IIM is adopting to shortlist you. So CAT score is just one of them. And what is the weightage of that CAT score? That varies from college to college. We are talking of IIMs also, it varies from IIM to IIM. Some are giving 100% weightage to just to the CAT score. Some are giving, as low as just a 20% weightage to the CAT score once you clear the sectional cutoffs and a minimum overall cutoff, say like a 90 percentile with minimums achieving 80 percentile in every section. Once you have done that, then the weightage for the CAT score may be lower and certain other parameters. Your academic background in terms of your performance, 10th percentage, 12th percentage, graduation percentage, your academic stream, your work experience, your gender, so all these different weightages for each of these. So there may be slight variations. So whether at 99 percentile, will you get a call from IIM ABC or LIK or not? For example, IIM A, we've had cases at 99.5 percentile, someone has not got a call. And we have cases, people have got calls at 90 percentile from IIM A, general category. So various parameters, because IIM A, for example, divides all the students as per their academic disciplines into 6 kinds of categories. You are from engineering background, you are from commerce background, you are from humanities background, these kind. And from each category, they decide that we will take the top students from each category. So if you are in a particular academic discipline, in your category, you are amongst the top students. Your overall percentile is a bit low compared to, say, some of the engineering category students, some other category students. You may still get a call, provided you have achieved the minimum sectional cutoffs, which is what their expectation is. So 99 percentile is a very, very good percentile. So you are getting multiple IIM calls. So at what score are you getting that 99 percentile? If you see CAT-19, when we had a 3-hour paper, this was the pre-COVID times. So 300 marks paper. And then COVID times onwards, when they reduced it to 2 hours, and then last year also, they continued with a 2-hour pattern. So then the score, the maximum possible score has been reduced 2 hours. So you can see the percentage, what percentage fetched you a 99 percentile. So you can look at all these 4 figures, and as a thumb rule, we can say in general, if you get around 50% marks, you will end up with a 99 percentile. So that's a broad thumb rule. Whereas in CAT-20 and in CAT-22, the latest one, you can see why 50% at 43 or 44% marks, you are able to get a 99 percentile. Okay. At 43 or 44% marks in your graduation, you will be considered, you just about managed to pass, a third divisioner, कि शायद तुमको कोई ग्रेस मार्क्स देके किसी तरह से पास किया है, और कैट में यही परसेंटेज ले आओ तो आप राजा हो. You have, you will be able to brag, I had this 10 IIM calls or 15 IIM calls, and maybe calls from any other CAT allied college that you have applied to. Okay. So you will be rich. So much choice available to you. Interviews, इतने सारे इंटरव्यू हैं, तो कोई तो ये भी होगा इंटरव्यूज की डेट्स क्लैश हो रही है, चलो ये इंटरव्यू छोड़ देते हैं, कोई बात नहीं, 15 कॉल हैं, एक आध मिस भी कर देंगे, मतलब you will be in that state. So just imagine. So that is why I'm saying forget percentage. आपका सारा फोकस होना है परसेंटाइल पे, और इसीलिए एम कैट्स देना जरूरी है, क्योंकि वहां आपको परसेंटाइल मिलती है तो आपको रियल पोजीशन पता लगती है कि ये पेपर का डिफिकल्टी लेवल किस तरह का था, और ये सब चीज के रिलेटिव परफॉर्मेंस है. How have all other candidates who have written the exam, felt that difficulty level of the paper, and accordingly क्या marks आ रहे लोगों के, so आपके relative performance क्या है. In any competitive exam, it is the relative performance which matters, not the absolute performance. तभी आपके 50% आए भी, और अगर पेपर इजी था तो फिर आपके 99 परसेंटाइल नहीं बैठेगी उसमें. आपको सर आपने तो कहा था, पर कहा था वो तो उस पेपर के लिए था. पेपर अगर इजी है, सभी के नंबर अच्छे आ रहे हैं, तो 50 की जगह हो सकते हैं 55% चाहिए या 60% चाहिए, वही 99 परसेंटाइल आने के लिए. इसीलिए एब्सोल्यूट स्कोर्स मत देखो, एम कैट्स भी आप जब देते रहोगे तो आपको अपना परफॉर्मेंस ग्राफ ये देखना है, आर माई परसेंटाइल्स मूविंग अप और नॉट फ्रॉम वन एम कैट टू अनदर. Scores may move up or down depending on the difficulty level of the paper. वो 99 परसेंटाइल तो पहले दिखा दिया था. अब पिछले कैट में ही जो आपने देखा है 43% मार्क्स पे ही 99 परसेंटाइल आ गई थी, अराउंड 89 मार्क्स ओनली. सो उसके बाद ना ये मार्क्स जो है ना रॉ स्कोर नहीं है, ये थोड़ा सा स्केल्ड स्कोर है. तो एक दो तीन नंबर तक का फर्क हो सकता है, क्योंकि जैसे 3 स्लॉट्स में एग्जाम हुआ, सो दे नीड टू बैलेंस देम आउट. तो स्टैटिस्टिकल टूल्स लगते हैं कुछ, यू शुडंट वरी. एंड ये भी र्यूमर्स बहुत चलते रहते हैं, फिर लोग क्या सोशल मीडिया पे और इधर उधर बायस हो जाते हैं. कोई वेबसाइट्स भी, हजारों वेबसाइट्स पॉपअप हो जाती हैं कि वो वाला सेक्शन अगर स्लॉट दिया होता तो उसमें उन वालों को फायदा हो गया, इस वाले को नुकसान हो गया. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. कोई सेक्शन कोई किसी स्लॉट में थोड़ा सा ज्यादा टफ हो गया तो दैट इज व्हाई दैट स्केलिंग इज डन. तो वो आपको हम बराबर कर देते हैं, किसी के नंबर ज्यादा हो जाएंगे कम हो जाएंगे करके स्केलिंग हो जाएगी. सो यू शुड हैव दैट ट्रस्ट इन दी कैट अथॉरिटीज कि भाई वो दे विल टेक केयर ऑफ दोस थिंग्स. ये वैसे भी आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है, यू कैन नॉट चूज योर स्लॉट. ये चीज आपको शायद ना पता हो, अगर आप पहली बार कैट दे रहे हैं आप सोचेंगे वो एग्जाम डे है, एक ही दिन एग्जाम होता है और 3 स्लॉट्स में होता है, तो मॉर्निंग आफ्टरनून इवनिंग, एंड यू कैन नॉट स्पेसिफाई कि आई वांट टू टेक अप दिस स्लॉट. दे विल अलॉट इट रैंडमली. तो सारे स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं, जितने भी कैट एस्पिरेंट्स हैं, जब 3 से स्लॉट्स में दे रहे हैं, रैंडम एलोकेशन हुआ है, तो हर एक स्लॉट में एक नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व बनेगा और उसी हिसाब से वो स्टैटिस्टिकली वो लोग निकाल लेते हैं कि क्या डिफिकल्टी लेवल इनका बराबर रहा या थोड़ा फर्क रहा तो हमें क्या स्केलिंग करनी है, सो दैट उनको हम इक्वल ट्रीट करें, किसी को ज्यादा ना तो बेनिफिट हो ना कोई लॉस पे रहे बिकॉज ऑफ द डिफरेंस इन डिफिकल्टी लेवल्स. अब ये आया कि 99 तो ठीक है, पर उतना नहीं बैठे तो जैसे इतने सारे कॉलेजेस दिखाए कपिल सर ने कि देयर आर यू कैन गेट एट 85 और 90 percentile also. So let's look what kind of scores, scaled scores at which you could get say an 85 percentile. Just imagine last year at 41 marks, a scaled score of 41, 42 marks, you could get an 85 percentile and you could get calls from some of those colleges which we are showing where the placements are between 12 to 20 lakh per annum. Okay. And what is 41 marks? You know, plus 3 minus 1. So how many questions you needed to get right? Maybe just about 15 questions in the entire paper. You get a score of 45. So suppose you attempted 18 and you get 15 right. So you get 45. And if they were all MCQ questions, so 3 minus, you still get 42 and you get an 85 percentile. So 18 questions out of 64 or 66 questions in the entire exam. Just imagine you have a huge choice with you. Importance there was 18 में से 15 right. So your accuracy level needed to be good. So सिर्फ attempt कम कर देंगे तो हमारा अच्छा हो जाएगा accuracy level, ऐसा भी नहीं है. Attempt बढ़ा देंगे तो score बढ़ जाएगा, ऐसा भी नहीं है. तो that is what you have to be careful in the initial stages of your preparation. जैसे जो अभी अधिकतर लोगों की जो initial stages हैं, please focus more and more on your accuracy. The topics that you have done, ensure that when you're writing an exam, भले attempts कम हो, पर जो attempt किया है वहां accuracy level अच्छी हो. फिर धीरे धीरे जितनी आप practice करेंगे, your speed will increase a bit. You should be able to increase your number of attempts subsequently. But शुरू में बस मैंने target बना लिया कि मेरे को तो 15 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करने ही है, 18 अटेम्प्ट करने ही है इस सेक्शन में. बिल्कुल ऐसा मत कीजिए. यू नीड टू फोकस कि जो कर रहे हैं वो सही करें. मैथ्स में मैंने 6 ही क्वेश्चन किए, लेकिन इंश्योर करो मैथ्स है तो 6 है तो 6 के 6 राइट हो. इतनी सारी चॉइस है, 22 में से 6 सो फाइन. लेट मी चूज, पिक एंड चूज द वंस व्हिच आई एम वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट अबाउट एंड लेट मी गेट ऑल 6 राइट. तो फाइन, यू शुड फील हैप्पी अगर आपने 6 अटेम्प्टेड 6 राइट. धीरे धीरे कुछ टेस्ट्स के बाद आपको हो जाएगा 6 की जगह मैं 8 अटेम्प्ट कर पा रहे हैं, 9 कर पा रहे हैं. सो दिस वी आर टॉकिंग ऑफ दोस who had a bit of a fear of maths or who are not very comfortable with maths. And obviously, we have amongst you we'll also have some IITians and some bits Pilani and some NITians or someone else also engineers or non-engineers who are very good with maths. So you would start off itself with attempting 12, 14, 15 questions. You may move up even more, but remember, ensure in your analysis, are you getting good accuracy or not? Otherwise, there's no point that I was able to attempt 15 questions. You got 7 wrong or 6 wrong, not worth it. Okay, so focus on accuracy and just look, very low scores also, seemingly low scores, but देखो आप अभी ऐसे अगर कोई ये CAT-22 भी अगर आपको कोई मिल जाएगा नेट पे, ऐसे अटेम्प्ट करोगे, आपको लगेगा ये तो आसान सा पेपर था, इतना मुश्किल तो नहीं था, लोगों के इतने नंबर भी नहीं आए, इतनी तैयारी कर रहे हैं. That always happens every year when students, when in a non-exam scenario, when you attempt a test, you will always find it easy. बट वही उस एग्जाम का प्रेशर जब होता है, वो लिमिटेड टाइम होता है, वो जो एनवायरनमेंट होता है, उसमें उस तरह का स्कोर लाना वो थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है. विच इज वाई वी से प्लीज अटेम्प्ट ऑल द एम कैट्स. वी आर ट्राइंग टू क्रिएट दैट एनवायरनमेंट कि आपको फीलिंग आए कि कैट दे रहे हैं. और डेफिनेटली टुवर्ड्स द एंड वी विल डेफिनेटली हैव सम एम कैट्स व्हिच विल बी इन इन्विजिलेटेड मोड, व्हिच वी विल वांट यू टू कम टू द सेंटर एंड राइट द एम कैट देयर. तो घर में भी कई बार कोजी एनवायरनमेंट क्रिएट कर लिया, परफेक्ट साइलेंस, परफेक्ट सिचुएशन क्रिएट करने की कोशिश की है, तो वो चीजें एग्जाम में नहीं होंगी. तो एग्जाम कंडीशन सिमुलेट करेंगे, उधर हमें अच्छा करना है. ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाट्स इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, नाउ इंडिविजुअल सेक्शन. देखो क्वांट की बात करें, 85 परसेंटाइल टिपिकली मैंने कहा विल हेल्प यू अचीव द कट ऑफ एवरी कॉलेज इन एवरी IIM. 85 परसेंटाइल. 85 परसेंटाइल कितने स्कोर पे आई लास्ट ईयर? 14 मार्क्स. 14 मार्क्स का क्या मतलब है? 5 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करो सिर्फ और 5 राइट हो गए, आपके 15 मार्क्स आ गए. 6 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट किए, 5 राइट हो गए, तो भी 14 मार्क्स आ गए. सो 6 अटेम्प्टेड 5 राइट. तो जो कपिल सर वैसे जो पूछ रहे थे पहले, वो मजाक में कि सर बस ये 5-6 ही क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट कर लूं और हो जाएगा क्या? पिछले साल हो गया, वही कह रहे हैं ना, 6 क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट किए और 5 ही राइट हुए, एंड यू कुड हैव गॉट 85 परसेंटाइल, यू हैव क्लियर्ड द कट ऑफ. और अगर थोड़ा और बेटर करना 90 परसेंटाइल, तो एक क्वेश्चन और राइट कर लो, आपके 90 परसेंटाइल, 17 मार्क्स. 99 परसेंटाइल, थोड़ा वो जो ड्रीम रहता है, यू नीड 33. तो 33 भी is 11 questions attempted and all right, say 15 questions attempted and 12 right, so something like that. Okay, so which is also doable. जो भी थोड़ा decent है मैथ्स में या प्रैक्टिस करके थोड़ा सा भी आप ठीक हो, one can hope target कि 99 percentile is not too far away for us. देख रहे हो ना क्या परसेंटेज है ये? 50% marks in that section, that's all. So remember, end of the day also you have a huge choice available. Even at 50% marks in the section, you are able to get a 99 percentile. So fine enough. इतनी तो ऐसा नहीं है कि 40 मिनट्स में मेरे को 22 क्वेश्चंस करने हैं. 40 मिनट्स में आपको एक्चुअली 15 क्वेश्चन ही करने होंगे ज्यादा ज्यादा, इवन व्हेन यू आर ट्राइंग फॉर अ 99 परसेंटाइल प्लस स्कोर देयर. ओके, एंड देन डिपेंडिंग ऑन द एक्यूरेसी, 15 अटेम्प्ट किए, अगर ऑल 15 राइट हो गए तो आपके 99.5 से भी ऊपर पहुंच जाएगा स्कोर. आपके 11-12 राइट हुए तो आप 99 परसेंटाइल के आसपास रहोगे. So this was quant. Let's look at the other sections also. We had LRDI, which was tough, और VARC. VARC typically थोड़ा सा ज्यादा स्कोरिंग होता है, तो 99 परसेंटाइल, 33 नहीं, जो 33 क्वांट में था 40 मार्क्स ये. अब now this is a section which people feel the perception wise it's a very easy section. क्या पूछ रहे हैं? Reading comprehension, unseen passages we have been doing from time immemorial, right from early days of our school. RC is being done, and that's virtually, that is what it is. और jumbled para, what is jumbled para? 4 sentences given है, उन्हीं को तो rearrange करना है. So people think, but then when you start writing the AIMCATs, then that is when you realize that English section, you to get good scores is again not easy. And थोड़े ज्यादा attempt किए तो इसमें इतने negative हो जाते हैं, they pull your scores down. So again, a good balance is very important. And here, to get an 85 or a 90 percentile, 24 marks. Now, English, it's very, very rare that one gets 100% accuracy. So I won't say कि 8 attempt करो, all 8 right. It's very difficult to be able to target, because, despite your best efforts, when you think you are 100% sure that this answer what I marked is right, and it may still end up being wrong. In quant or in LRDI, if you are 100% confident, chances are more likely than not, then that would actually be right, but not so in VARC. So वो थोड़ा सा margin आपको देना पड़ता है. So probably if you attempted 10 questions, 12 questions here, so 12 questions attempt किए, 9 right हो गए, Okay, an accuracy level of about 75%. It's a decent accuracy level. You get 9 right, 3 wrong, all were MCQ questions. You're getting a net score of 24 and you're getting a 90 percentile. Okay, so 12 attempts is what? 2 passages and 3-4 questions from the remaining ones. So that's it. So that still makes, so that is good enough. 40 minutes time to be able to attempt this, which means you can afford to spend 15 minutes on every passage. So जिसमें ढंग से पढ़ेंगे, दोबारा थोड़ा पढ़ लिया, एक्यूरेसी हायर रह सकती है, क्वेश्चंस को ढंग से कर सकते हैं. These are the kind of things which you need to be careful about. So when you start practicing, when you start writing AIMCATs and SAMCATs and all, so selecting the passages to attempt, as Kapil sir was earlier also mentioning, the order of attempts, the selection of questions, that holds the key. Of course, if you are very good in this section, you may be able to attempt virtually all the questions. So then you are aiming for 99 or 99 plus percentile in that section. Okay. Yeah, let's go further in this.
See, it is very important for you to understand this, that in this particular section, as sir said, 3 to 4 questions from verbal ability, if you can attempt on a higher side of accuracy, and 2 passages from RC you can attempt on a higher side of accuracy. So it will give you an attempt of around 13 questions, which is exactly what we are looking at to get a 90 percentile kind of, even if you get 1 or 2 questions wrong. So your target should not be that I have to attempt 2 passages only. Your target should be, I have to attempt, let us say, 1 passage. So I'll attempt that passage with full accuracy. Then in the next test, I'll attempt 2 passages. I'll attempt that passage with a full accuracy. So 8 questions I'll take out from passage and 5 questions I'll take out from verbal ability. You may be strong in summary. You may be strong in paraforming questions. You may be strong in out of context, or let us say fit in the para, whatever it is. So 3 category है वहाँ पे. 3 में से अगर 2 categories में मैं strong हूँ, तो मैं उससे 5 या 6 question का set बना सकता हूँ. I can easily take out 5 questions. And on the other side RC, I can easily take out 8 questions. So 8 plus 5 का combination, 13 question का combination, higher side of accuracy पे तुम्हें बहुत अच्छा percentile दिला सकता है. And this you can easily manage in 40 minutes. That's the most important thing. Now, again, the point is what we discuss in our classes. Most important factor in this is order of attempt, selection of a passage. Number 1, spending 10 minutes on VA, 30 minutes on RC, or spending 15 minutes on VA, 25 minutes on RC, as per your own comfort level and as per your own strategy. But if you have allotted time to a particular area, particular subsection, the most important thing is you need to stick to the time limit. जहां तुमने उस time limit को stick नहीं किया, वहां सब collapse हो जाएगा. So these are some factors that you have to keep in mind while attempting an AIMCAT also. और practice AIMCAT से ही होगी, बार same चीज करोगे, तो you will be able to take it to a great height when you are writing in November. Okay, let's move ahead.
हाइट किससे मुझे याद आया, कपिल कहते हैं ना, हाइट्स बाय ग्रेट मैन रीच्ड एंड केप्ट वर नॉट अटेन्ड बाय सडन फ्लाइट, बट दे व्हाइल देयर कंपेनियंस स्लेप्ट वर टॉयलिंग अपवर्ड्स इन द नाइट. सो जो आपको परफॉर्मेंस दिखती है, किसी की सक्सेस दिखती है, उसके पीछे मेहनत होती है. सो हाइट्स यू वांट टू अचीव, so you need to put in the effort also. You need to practice. The more you practice, the better you will become. वो एक हिंदी में कहते हैं ना कि करत करत अभ्यास के जड़मती होत सुजान, रसरी आवत जावत ते सिल पे पड़त निशान. For some of you, if you not understood this, when the rope keeps on, pushing against a rock, it can leave imprints there also. It can, cause a dent in the rock also. Continuous, compare a rope and a rock still. So that is what happens with regular practice, when you keep on doing something. This we already taken. Let's look at the next slide, Kapil.
This is LRDI. I mean, just quickly go through this and let's tell them that we were discussing the sets. So there were
last year, yeah, 85 percentile is supposed our target level, that this is at least we should be able to achieve. So that was at 14 marks, which means what? 1 set of 4 questions, if you do fully correct, so you get 12 marks in that. So which means one fully correct, one set, and a second set even partially done. Even say a couple of questions if you are able to. So again, remember, this is one other important aspect. It's not necessary that when you attempt a set, that means you have to attempt all the 4 questions or 5 questions in that set. Sometimes, you start solving a set, couple of questions you're able to do, and in some question you get stuck that how do I figure it out? You can leave. The art of leaving something also is very important. Even in quant, sometimes there are ego issues. In this topic, I have done well. So how am I not able to get the answer? So let me keep on trying. Or English. So here, why am I confused? I'll keep on working on that para-jumble confusion. And 5 minutes I'm spending on a question, not worth it. So ego needs to be kept aside. Practicalities have to come in. And same way here in LRDI sets, because first of all, the selection of sets is important. Still, if you start attempting a set and midway through you realize ki kuch samajh nahi aa raha, nahi ban raha, we should be able to leave that set. Or when we when we look at the questions, we are able to do couple of questions and we can not able to do some other questions, we can leave those also. So all these various factors, but typically if you do 2 sets, which means say 8 questions, but this time around there were 4 sets only of 5 questions each. So one set you did fully and you got it fully right, you are getting an 85 percentile. So it depends. Sometimes questions are of 3, a set is of only 3 questions, sometimes of 4 questions, some of 5 questions. So this time they have 5 questions ka set, one set, full right, 15 marks, that's it. If you find LRDI tough, then you get your higher scores from other sections. Here you have achieved your 85 percentile. As far as CAT-22 was concerned, may not be true in CAT-23, it depends. Difficulty level remains roughly the same, then yes. See, the universe of students will also be roughly the same. Don't think कि इस बार CAT-22 वाले duffers थे, 23 वाले ज़्यादा intelligent होंगे तो ज़्यादा score आएगा, या vice versa, 22 वाले तो बहुत तोप थे, 23 में वालों का वो कम आएगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. So जो कहते हैं जो आपका normal curve होता है, distribution curve, वो तो same ही रहेगा हर साल. Okay. आउटलायर्स हो सकते हैं, इक्के दुक्का कोई जीनियस इस साल आ गया कि अगले साल आ गया, 1 या 2 स्टूडेंट्स बस. बट द नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व रिमेन्स, दैट इज व्हाई इट इज अ नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कर्व. ओके, तो ये आपका ये स्कोर्स इसी डिफिकल्टी लेवल पे ये इसी तरह के स्कोर्स रहेंगे. ओके, तो अगर आपने 2 सेट कर लिए, इस बार आपने 10 क्वेश्चंस कर लिए होते, ठीक है, उनमें से 1-2 गलत भी हो जाते, तो भी आप यू वुड हैव अचीव्ड समवेयर बिटवीन 95 to 99 परसेंटाइल. ओके, so that is what I'm saying. Just actually जो आप बहुत strong नहीं हो LRDI में, तो आप बस ये है कि 2 sets कर लें, you should feel happy. मतलब you are in the 90s in percentile, 2 sets if you have been able to crack. Whatever the difficulty level, easy था तो early 90s होगा, difficult था तो late 90s में होगा, वो आपका वो आ गया है. Okay, let's move on. अब we'll just stress upon what are the various resources available to you and how to best utilize those resources. So Kapil will spend a few minutes just explaining to you. You may be knowing most of these resources, but thoda sa unko fir bhi will reiterate and reinforce and how to use them. Yeah, Kapil.
Okay, see guys, this is your student homepage, which we call SHP. So you can see sectional tests are here, all India tests are here, AIMCATs are here. Okay. And other than this, you will find that a lot of verbal inputs, quantitative inputs, they are separately there. In verbal inputs, you will get a link to RC passages, articles, RC tones, etc. We usually ask you to read articles on a variety of subjects. These articles are available here. In quant, you get topic-wise formulas, topic-wise important, let's say, relations which are there. I mean, it is something which is very good tool that you can use on a regular basis. Okay, as in when you take your preparation ahead, you have GK module, you have GDP preparation, that will come later on. But for this, for the current scenario, for this particular period, verbal input and quantitative inputs along with sectional tests, AIMCATs and all India mocks, they are very, very important for you in the entire homepage. Please do visit your homepage on a daily basis and utilize it in one form or the other. You can even get vocabulary basics. You can even get one word for a day. Such things are also available, which are very interesting. and that will help you, to keep your preparation मूविंग इन अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग मैनर. बिल्कुल बोरिंग सा नहीं लगता इस पे अगर हम जाते हैं और कुछ कुछ इनपुट्स को यूज कर लेते हैं. ओके, देन lot of inputs with respect to B school selection, all these things are also there, admission criteria and all, you can check them. You will find that test analysis, like let's say you want to prepare for NMAT. So NMAT last year paper analysis, before last year analysis, all these analyses are also available on this homepage. This is again a good tool to understand all possible types of other management entrance tests, which we call OMETs in our classes. Okay, so you'll get not only a list of these OMETs, but you will also get an idea about all the paper pattern and all, what are the sections which are tested, how it is different from the previous year. All these inputs are also there. Okay, so let's move ahead. This is some Android app that we provide, and a lot of further vocabulary cards, quantitative, some small video lectures are there. Then AIMCATs, which all you have attempted, which all, you can see your score, you can see your analysis. AIMCAT analysis is a very, very important tool that we have discussed in how to analyze AIMCAT class. Okay, that again, we have conducted in an online mode. उसमें we have already discussed this कि आपको इस पे क्या क्या यूज करना है और कैसे यूज करना है. ओके, तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट और मैं बोलता हूँ रिलेटिवली काफी काम की चीजें हैं जो आपके काम आती हैं और आपके होम पेज पर हैं. अब देखो इस होम पेज पे जो मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ, एमकैट्स आपको सबको पता है, आप एमकैट उसी पे जाके देते हो. देयर आर सैमकैट्स. तो सैमकैट इज अ सेल्फ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटेड टेस्ट वेयर you appear for a test as and when your preparation moves on. So you will get an all India ranking which is very dynamic in its nature. वो जैसे जैसे समय आगे बढ़ेगा चेंज होती जाएगी, and you can see that how जैसे जैसे ज्यादा टेस्ट टेकर आएंगे you will come to know that how you have performed. Sectional tests are there. So there are 3 different kinds of sectional tests: basics, intermediate and advanced. I firmly believe, मैंने एक चार्ट भी बनाया है, जो लोग मई तक ज्वाइन कर चुके हैं, जिन्होंने मई 23 तक ज्वाइन कर लिया है, उन लोगों को कहीं ना कहीं बेसिक सेक्शनल टेस्ट स्टार्ट कर देना चाहिए. जिन्होंने अभी अभी ज्वाइन किया है, लेते मैं मई में भी मैं फर्स्ट में बोलता हूँ, लेट्स से 30 अप्रैल पकड़ लेते हैं अपन एक डेडलाइन. अगर आपने मई में या जून में ज्वाइन किया है तो आप अभी थोड़ा रुक सकते हो. बेसिक सेक्शनल टेस्ट उन लोगों को स्टार्ट कर देना चाहिए, दोज हु हैव जॉइन्ड टिल 30 अप्रैल और लेट्स से 1 मई. नेक्स्ट 2 months your target should be to finish off these basic sectional tests, and then further next 2 months your target should be to finish off intermediate test. Your revision should be dependent on your advanced sectional test. So October, November, 2 months you will give to advanced sectional test. Lot of ebooks would be there as and when you prepare. Daily vocab builders would be there. RC passages, articles are there where you can read these articles on a regular basis on a variety of subjects from different domains. Good part is that they are classified into various domains. ये सब यूजफुल चीजें हैं, इनको जितना ज्यादा काम में लोगे उतना अच्छा है. टेस्टिंग पैटर्न अपना अभी से बना लो, और अपने टेस्टिंग पैटर्न को इस तरीके से बनाओ कि जो फाउंडेशन टेस्ट है ये जनरली देखो उनके लिए है जिन्होंने प्रिपरेशन के टॉपिक्स क्लास में किए ही किए हैं. ओके, अब हम अपने आप को टेस्ट करना चाहते हैं कि ये टॉपिक हमको कैसा आया, मेरे साथ टॉपिक की अंडरस्टैंडिंग कैसी है, मेरा लेवल कैसा है, उसको ये टेस्ट चालू कर देना चाहिए. इंटरमीडिएट टेस्ट जो है वो मल्टीपल टॉपिक्स को क्लब करा के बनते हैं, because CAT is an exam where multiple topics will be tested in one question. So it is never like you will have a question directly from ERPV. ERPV will have a concept which is let us say time, speed, distance is also there, and some other topic is also there. In 22 questions they try to test you on multiple concepts. Okay, तो एक परफॉर्मेंस एनालिसिस कुछ क्लब टॉपिक में मिलना चालू होता है इंटरमीडिएट टेस्ट में. एडवांस मेरा मानना है फुल फ्लेजेड टेस्ट होता है जो कि बिल्कुल एक्चुअल सेक्शन जो कैट है उसके जैसा होता है. ये हमको अक्टूबर नवंबर लास्ट में जब हम रिवीजन करना चालू करते हैं अपना, तब हमें खत्म करना चाहिए. अब जिसने लेट ज्वाइन किया है, अभी जून में ज्वाइन किया है, ये पीरियड तो उसके लिए भी सेम रहेगा. ये पीरियड थोड़ा चेंज हो जाएगा और इसका पीरियड थोड़ा चेंज हो जाएगा. रेस्ट एवरीथिंग वुड रिमेन सेम. ओके, देन इफ यू लुक एट सेल्फ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटेड मॉक कैट्स, दैट इज सैम कैट्स, दे आर 30 इन नंबर. ठीक है, they are replica of past papers, and these two you can take these. जैसे आपको लगता है कि मुझे अगस्त में यार 2 टेस्ट और देने चाहिए तो मैं सैमकैट दे सकता हूं 2. आपको लग रहा है कि अगस्त में 4 एमकैट है, मैं 2 और ऐड कर लेता हूं, तो यू कैन ऐड 2 सैमकैट्स. अक्टूबर में लगता है 4, सितंबर में लगता है आपको कि 4 एमकैट है, 4 सेमकैट ऐड कर लेता हूं. तो एज पर योर प्रिपरेशन आई विल हेल्प यू इन प्रिपेयरिंग योर टेस्ट प्लान्स आल्सो, दैट हाउ यू विल हैव टू ऐड टेस्ट टू योर एग्जिस्टिंग प्रिपरेशन. दैट विल रियली हेल्प यू. लेकिन सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर जो हम शुरू से एम्फसाइज करते आ रहे हैं पूरी प्रिपरेशन के लिए, वो है प्लीज डू नॉट मिस एमकैट्स. द 25 इन नंबर इन ऑल, you should not skip them irrespective of preparation. कब चालू किया है, कोर्स कितना किया है, आपको पता होना चाहिए कि मेरा कोर्स अगर इतना हुआ है तो मेरे को ठीक है इतना ही क्वेश्चन आएगा एमकैट में. So you know that I'm scoring less. This performance graph has to cumulatively grow up and then you will have to be stable in your scores at a particular point of October or November. Okay, then एमकेट्स जो इन्विजिलेटेड है वो सेंटर पे आके देने हैं और जो नॉन इन्विजिलेटेड है उनको सीरियसली देना है. इन केस यू वांट टू टेक एट अ सेंटर, यू कैन गो बुक योर स्लॉट, आस्क द सेंटर, दे विल बुक अ स्लॉट फॉर यू एंड यू कैन टेक देयर आल्सो. हम लोग भी कुछ एक्सटर्नल सेंटर्स ले लेके आपके एमकेट्स कराते हैं सो दैट यू गेट एन एक्चुअल फील ऑफ द एग्जाम. वी ट्राई दैट आप 2 से 3 एमकेट, 2 एमकेट आप किसी ना किसी एक्सटर्नल सेंटर पे जाके दे दो, वेयर योर टाइम पीपल आर नॉट देयर. You will get exposed to new people, new staff. वो कॉलेज का स्टाफ होगा, कॉलेज ही होगा, they'll manage everything. So you know you have the same feeling as you get while appearing for the actual CAT. Okay, so this is the whole logic of this student homepage, sectional test, mock CATs and SAM CATs. Now, important part with respect to the preparatory tools that we have offered. Okay, you will get a lot of online videos from our side. है ना, जून आया है, अभी धीरे धीरे आने चालू हो जाएंगे. They'll be on VA, on RC, Quant, DI, on OMATs, NMAT, SNAP, everything. Okay. Watch these videos and try to gather as much as you can. Okay. We'll be conducting webinars like this we are doing now. We've started with एक अभी आपने IIM Ahmedabad student के साथ कराया था, अगर आपको ध्यान हो तो. We'll be having a lot of such sessions where students who are final select and people who are already in industry or people who are, let us say, they have cracked CAT themselves, they'll be coming and talking to you, RX students only. Doubt solving portal is there where we'll be giving you doubt solving in classes. All those people who are in an offline mode, we ensure that you get a doubt solving schedule. You should use that. If you are in an online mode or even in classroom student, आप क्वेश्चन करते करते कहीं फंस गए तो व्हाट्सएप डाउट सॉल्विंग है. मैंने एक वीडियो भी डाल रखा है व्हाट्सएप डाउट सॉल्विंग के रूल्स क्या होने चाहिए. फैकल्टी मेंबर को फोटो खींच के भेज दिया, दैट इज नॉट द वे. Ensure that आपने वर्किंग किया, वर्किंग का फोटो खींच के भेजा, so that he is also aware that you have done something in this question and in which step you are going wrong, so that now he can send you a voice message or let us say he can send you a video or maybe a solution simple that to tell you that boss, this is the step where you are going wrong. Read a lot, read a lot, read a lot. One mantra to crack reading comprehension. SM booklets जितनी भी आपको मिली है, स्टडी मटेरियल बुकलेट्स, वो अपने को खत्म किसी भी हालत में करना ही करना है. हम एसएम बुकलेट्स के क्वेश्चन छोड़ दें और हम एमकेट्स पे जा रहे हैं, सेमकेट्स पे जा रहे हैं, दैट्स अ रॉन्ग स्टेप. ओके, योर फर्स्ट स्टेप इज स्टडी मटेरियल बुकलेट्स, हैंडआउट्स. सेकंड स्टेप इज सेक्शनल टेस्ट एंड देन मूविंग ऑन टू एमकेट्स एंड सेमकेट्स. ओके, we provide one-to-one sessions in an online offline mode. Offline you can talk to me or any other faculty member at any point of time, whenever he is at that center or I am at that center. One-to-one is a facility where you can book a slot for one-to-one, and I'm already taking one-to-one. You can come in the room, only you will be there, I'll be there, or in case you want to take with some other faculty, he'll be there and you'll be there, so that you can ask not academic doubts, but maybe let us say some subject related problems with respect to your schedule, your planning of preparation, and something going wrong in the preparation, we can discuss that. But our whole and sole purpose is to provide you with maximum support as much as we can give, so that you come out with flying colors. See, दोनों पार्टी अगर एक ही टारगेट पे काम करेंगी, तो believe me, we both will be able to reach to that target. And we are those people who give almost 120-25 plus IIM calls every year. So you can also do that. Okay, sir, over to you.
Yeah, see, a couple of things. The Pune students, instead of WhatsApp, we're using a Telegram group. So I'm sure I see a lot of activity going on there. So do that. In Jaipur, we are doing it through WhatsApp. Now the online videos, again, there are two types. some on our social media that we put up, say on our YouTube channel here. And there are some short videos on lots of actual academic topics from the head office side, which are available on your SHP. So you can even go through those videos, short videos, typically 5 minutes or 10-minute kind of videos. And there's quite a bunch of such videos. You can view those also if you have time. Don't miss the ones which we post, because then we are doing them very relevant, especially lots of OMATs and lots of other short tips that we would like to give you. More of general videos and strategy videos that we'll put up. The webinars that we do and all. Now, what's important is if you are an offline student, do make use of your offline doubt solving. All the faculty members at all centers are geared up to handle that. They are allotted specific time slots that they are available at the center to solve the doubts of students. So feel free to approach them for overall, strategy for your particular section, for how to start preparing in that section, how to handle your material. And then wherever in any particular topic you have some specific doubts. But as Kapil sir said, I'm again emphasizing, come with your working. Or if you've not understood the question, just ask for an understanding of the question, not the complete solution of the question. So that finally in the exam, you have to solve the questions. So our endeavor is also to help you solve on your own. Okay. To help you with concepts. It's not to that you bring a list of these 5 questions, you tick mark from your book and say, sir, please solve these 5 questions for me. No, the solutions are also available with you for all the SMs. The solutions are there for even for class handouts and all. There is a solution booklet which has started being distributed. I think most of you would have received. So one level of solutions are there. Now, if you have not understood that solution, you have some alternate way which you want to confirm, is that right or not? You find some error, somewhere you are confused. So you are approaching the faculty for your specific doubt. Why not this kind of a thing? Or if you've not looked out solution, you want to just understand also that this is my working. Where am I going wrong? Why am I going wrong? Why do you think why this is wrong? And as per the solution, there is some other answer. So you also should be in that mode. Now we've also started doing a lot of, book doubt solving online live sessions also. We've done in the afternoons. We've been doing for SM, especially for quant. We've done a couple of sessions we've had for English also. But the response so far, I haven't seen too much of an enthusiastic response. Very few students are attending those. Why we thought we would give that, and we tell you in advance that could also act as a target. Say like after 2 days in the book, this topic exercise is going to be discussed. So let me solve the exercise before then. If I have just 1 or 2 doubts, I can ask offline, no need to attend that session. But if I have multiple doubts from that exercise, let me attend that online live session of that exercise. And most all my doubts would get resolved within that. And there would be some more clarity about those concepts so that I'll not be able to have those doubts and mistakes in future. I'll be able to solve the questions in a better way. So all these kinds of tools, sessions which we are providing at this stage, and subsequently once your basic course gets over, there'll be lots and lots of practice sessions, revision sessions, workshops also of 2 kinds. The basic targeting the basic concepts, targeting higher level of difficulty questions. So all kinds of workshops, all kinds of sessions, there are lots of such things will happen offline and some even online. Okay, so what has happened is like we introduce foundation classes for every topic of quant. So before you start the topic, at some time before that, you will have a foundation class in that topic. Now, sometimes some students said that we missed the foundation class offline. So when do we do? So what we've done is for our online live students, when we are doing the foundation classes, we have thrown them open for the offline students also. And we've kept them at a slot at the same 8:30 to 10 p.m. slot so that it is accessible to everyone. So that schedule also is coming to you whenever there is a foundation class there. So, but that is if you have missed the foundation class in your offline mode or you wish to re-attend that, then you attend that. If you are comfortable maths or you already attended, you understood the topic, so then there is no need. What we are doing is we keep on providing you the schedule. Like we provide you a schedule for the entire center for all the slots, so that if you have missed a class, you want to re-attend a class, you just need to approach the front desk request permission and re-attend a particular class in any other slot also. So those kinds of things we are trying to help you whatever way that your preparation should be the best. The sectional test schedule, I think you already explained to the students. These OMETs which are there now, we will have certain sessions and webinars on each of these also, discussing the strategy to be adopted sectional wise also, that maths, that reasoning, that English, IFT maths, NMAT maths, NMAT English, all these kinds, all that support which will come to you from September to December. Okay, depending when that exam is happening. So before that, we will have these multiple sessions for each of these exams too. And then there are a lot of full-length mocks of all these exams available under SHP, and some of them will be again all India mocks also. Now, these QATs also say in maths, you should take them seriously, that the topic which you do and then the QAT is done, that you ensure that you do that with full seriousness. Before you, the QAT class is there, try to do the exercise from the book. There are two exercises typically in each chapter. So you do those and then you attempt the QAT. So then you will know that either the concepts are clear in that topic, you are able to attempt most of the questions or not. Now the SMs which we gave you when you took enrollment, what we provided to you was what we refer to as lot 1. So the lot 1, you had these 17 study material booklets with you. Okay, the list is here, you all would have received that. Okay, so as you would see here, now vocab cue cards, if you have not started using them, discuss with your language faculty how to utilize these vocab cards, start using them. There's a book on English grammar, which we see from our past experience. A lot of students don't touch that at all till the end. So please don't be that kind of a student. Do the exercises from this book also, along with the classes which are happening, the class handouts which we are giving. A book on speed enhancement tests. Again, this is something which we find a lot of students skip this, or they do just 2-3 tests initially and then they are not doing it. Speed enhancement tests help you not only in quant, improving your understanding of relationships amongst numbers and amongst various topics, improving your speed, and they will also help you in DI. Wherever calculations are required, you will be faster, you will be, more accurate. So do this book also. And this is to be done at the early stages. It is not something to be starting in October or November. Okay. So these vocab cards, grammar, speed enhancement tests, these are all basic level foundation things you should be doing at the early stages of your preparation. Now, RCCR book, obviously verbal ability, DI. Now, in reasoning, there is one book which is targeted towards the OMETs. So some students feel that, why should I do this? These kinds of questions are not coming in CAT. But again, remember, these questions come in various other exams, and also these form the foundation of your, improving your reasoning process. So you do with the easier or the more, commonplace reasoning kinds of questions. There could be blood relations and direction sense and, analogies and series, which you may feel, not directly relevant to CAT, but they are helping building up your reasoning skill for the higher level questions which come in CAT. So do that book also, at early stages. And then the other books are there, the solution booklet for each of the quant booklets are there. So ensure that you take care of your lot 1 in entirety. And then we give you lot 2. We have started distributing lot 2 material to some of our older students who took admission, say, during last year itself for CAT-23. So their course is nearly over. So we are providing them lot 2 now. For others, over the next couple of months, by and by, everyone will get this lot 2. Lot 2 booklets are such 8 booklets. These are additional exercises. These are all now practice exercises. Okay, for each of these topics, the quant, DI, verbal, everything. Okay, so these are to be tackled once you have done the original, the basic concept support SMs. Okay, once you've done all those exercises, then you move on to these additional practice exercises. Yeah, Kapil, any other thing which you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was just thinking that we should start answering a couple of questions. So there are people who are asking that how to select LRDI set. So, sir, I think you can answer this. How to select LRDI set?
Well, see, there's no easy formula for this. So first of all, you should have gone through all the kinds of topics and, be comfortable with all. So like what we try to do is break up all these kinds of LRDAs into, different slots and have, sessions for each of those, some Venn diagrams and games and tournaments and cubes, and puzzles and distribution. So many. So each kind of topic which we looked at. So once you go through those exercises, those handouts and all, then in the AIMCAT, when you're attempting, so that is what you have to look not only at the question, but you have to, the set, you have to also look at the questions. Are those questions seemingly direct? You do some steps from the set, you will formulate, say, a table or something, and then you'll be able to get all the answers, or each question is also unique, asking for some more things to be done. Then that kind of a set is much lengthier. We may probably skip it in the first go and look at some other sets. Okay. Then again, whatever way you have selected some sets, the important thing is after that test is over, attempt the remaining sets in a test format. In a test, suppose you are spending 15 minutes on every set. So it's not that and you've done 2 sets. 2 sets remain. So after the test, you are attempting the remaining 2 sets, then you should not be taking half an hour or 45 minutes per set. Try again in 15 minutes each. And then see what is your accuracy in these 2. Sometimes you will realize some set that you took up in the test, you were not able to do well there. You got confused, stuck, and you couldn't solve it at all. And the sets which you had left, one of them you found very easy when you started doing it. So then you need to analyze what made you leave this particular set, what made you attempt that tougher set which you got stuck in. So with the more you analyze these kinds of things, what was your thought process? Why you chose particular sets, why you did not choose particular sets? So that will help you improve your selection the next time around, and the next time, and the next time. So this iteration which goes on. So these 25 AIMCATs are there. It's such a good question bank. Now, each having 4 to 5 sets, each unique kind of logic which has applied. So in between, you keep on revising also these. So you will understand the logic also. So lots of times a set comes in, you will see that you said, yes, I have done something similar. This is the kind of logic. This is the kind of approach I need to take. So that will come through a lot of practice after a few months, after attempting a few AIMCATs, after attempting sectional tests and SAMCATs. So then that is the time when the ones which you feel confident, I have some idea of this kind of a data, how to solve it. And you'll go ahead and solve and pick those sets first.
Okay, so I'm answering a couple of queries in a quick manner. First, I got 80% in the reset MCAT. It's a good start. Yes, it's a very good start. Don't worry. You will take this score even further to a higher side only. Okay. CAT LRDI, sir has already answered. Okay. Now you're talking about, let's say, something about selection criteria for various IIMs. We are not discussing that today. Then couple of questions I've already answered here. Sir, please tell the revision strategy before giving test. Revision strategy, तो अगर हम पूरे syllabus की revision की बात कर रहे हैं, तो अभी नहीं होगा, वो अक्टूबर नवंबर में होगा. But let's say when you go for an AIMCAT, आप छोटे-छोटे पैकेट्स में कोर्स कवरेज लेते जाओ और AIMCAT देते जाओ. छोटा-छोटा पैकेट्स में कोर्स कवरेज लोगे, AIMCAT दोगे. फिर नेक्स्ट टाइम थोड़ा और कोर्स ऐड करो. नेक्स्ट टाइम थोड़ा और कोर्स ऐड करो. That makes more sense. Okay, I have answered to Vaibhav Ajmera. Now, again, people are asking about specific percentage in their 10th, 12th and graduation. This is not the right time. ठीक है? लेकिन कुछ भी है, इन सबको कॉमन करके आंसर कर देता हूँ. See, whatever your academic score is, 10th, 12th graduation is, first and the foremost thing is you need to have a good CAT score. So forget all these factors which are not in your hand. First and the foremost factor which is in your hand is your CAT score. Then we'll look at your interview score, essay writing score and everything. So अभी हमारे हाथ में क्या है? हमें higher side of CAT score लेके आना है. Okay. Okay. So okay, these questions.
I was just looking that some students are asking about, when will the revision workshops and all be held? See, now 2 kinds. The students who have completed the basic course, typically we'll start. We've given short breaks to some of the batches, and then we'll start with revision sessions and practice exercises. There will be some such sessions for our online live students also, which may start, say, by August or so and will go on till November. And for our classroom students, offline students, next month itself, we'll be starting off with some sessions so that there is some continuity, some practice which you can keep on doing, keep on interacting with the faculty members, and right up to CAT. And as we near CAT, we will have many more such workshops and practice sessions so that the momentum gets built up towards CAT.
Okay, all those people who are looking at fluctuations in their MCAT scores, do not worry. It's a routine, normal part of the cycle. कभी ऊपर जाएगा, कभी नीचे आएगा. हमें कोशिश क्या करनी है? हमें फ्लक्चुएशन को मिनिमम रखना है. जैसे किसी ने अभी क्वेश्चन किया, मेरे को 92 आया, फिर 75 रह गया है, कोई बात नहीं. आपको रीजंस आइडेंटिफाई करने हैं that what went wrong in this particular set, in this particular test. What went wrong in this particular test? मैंने कहाँ गलत किया, कौन सा सेक्शन खराब किया? All these questions, when you will answer, you will try to stabilize your performance over a period of next few MCATs. When does filling of form for CAT start? CAT usually comes out in the month of August. You will have a form filling session, don't worry. OMETs, they typically start in the month of September, October. So again, you will have sessions on almost every other business school form. Don't worry about that.
Okay, one important thing I wanted to stress again, AIMCATs. Another important reason why you should be writing AIMCATs is that in September, October, we would like to guide you which forms to fill up. You know, CAT has not only IIMs, but then about 150 other colleges. So when you fill up the CAT form, the IIMs are taken care of. Like if you achieve the cutoffs and all, they'll give you calls. But those 150 other allied colleges, CAT allied colleges, they will not call you unless you have applied to them. Now, each application costs about 1,500 to 2,000 rupees. So obviously, you will not be applying to all the CAT allied colleges. So which ones will you apply? 5, 8, 10, 12, how many number of colleges, but which ones? Now, how do you decide that out of those 150 colleges, which 5, 7, 8 to apply? Now that we'll be able to guide you if we have your AIMCAT scores with us. If we can see, and you can also see what kind of percentile you're getting in AIMCATs, what kind of a graph is there? Is it upwards or is it stable? When did you begin your preparation? All these inputs help us also to guide you and will help you also to decide which all colleges to apply to. Because finally, that is the aim that you are preparing, is to be able to apply to colleges and get calls from them. So if you miss out on AIMCATs, then you are just shooting in the dark. Then you are applying to colleges based on your whims, because I like this college, I would like to study in this college, so let me apply. But do you think you have a reasonable chance of clearing the requirement of achieving that kind of a percentile which that college requires? So how will you know that? You know, it shouldn't happen that you apply to 10 colleges and you don't get calls from any of them. And it should also not happen that you apply to 10 colleges, you get calls from all of them, and then you regret that had you applied to some better colleges, you may have got calls from them too. So, you know, this AIMCATs serve as that good tool. So again, reiterating, you know, attempt all the AIMCATs.
Okay, guys. So we hope we would have done some justice in last 1.5 hours with you, and you would have gained something. With all the queries of profile and all these things will be answered separately. Don't worry. There is no profile called as low profile. First thing that you need is a good CAT score. मैं बार-बार बोल रहा हूँ. That is what you need, is a good CAT score. Concentrate on that. Forget all these factors. Okay. So wish you all the best, guys. May God bless you. Keep rocking. Take care of your health. Take care of your elders, and do take care of your hard work. Please work hard. These 6 months are very crucial for the career ahead. Okay. Thank you.
See, just remember, you know, in my childhood, I would hear that, and I still like that. You say, good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better, best. So what is your aim? To give off your best performance in CAT. There should be no regret later that, you know, had I prepared a bit more, I would have got a better score and hence a better percentile or a better call. So those regrets should not be there. Just try to give off your best. Okay. For that, whatever support you need from us, just let us know through our various channels of communication. We have a social media there which you can follow. You'll get some inputs from there too. You have our numbers, our center numbers, our common WhatsApp number, our email IDs. You can in touch. You can request us for whatever additional support or help you require. We are there to help you all the way to achieve your dream college. Thank you.
Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye-bye.